Why, hello there, soulmates. My name's Soul Keever, and this is a no-save, manual aiming only walkthrough of Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation 1.
Resident Evil 2.
Leon A scenario.
A bizarre incident occurred in the outskirts of an American suburb called Raccoon City. It was later revealed that the terrible disaster had been caused by the T virus, a mutagenic toxin created by the international enterprise Umbrella Incorporated for use in bioweapon experiments. The Raccoon City Police Department's Special Stars Unit immediately began investigation in the affair. The case was apparently closed, thanks to the efforts of STARS members Claire Redfield and Jill Valentine. But the Umbrella Corporation's experiments were far from finished.
What have we got here?
That guy's a maniac. Why'd he bite me?
What a mess! What could have done this? What was that? What are these things? All right, that's far enough. Don't move! Don't move. No! What's up with that guy? That was a clean hit. We're running out of ammo here.
Wait! Don't shoot!
Get down! We can't stay out here. Head to the police station. It'll be a lot safer.
Okay. What's going on? I arrived in town, and the whole place went insane.
The radio's out.
You're a cop, right?
Yeah, first day on the job. Great, huh? Name's Leon Kennedy. Nice to meet you.
Mine's Claire Redfield. I came to find my brother, Chris.
Hey, could you open the glove box?
Sure. There's a gun inside.
Better take it with you.
No! Look out!
You okay?
Still in one piece.
That maniac's gonna ram us! station. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
So, cinematic is more or less the same as it is on Claire A, so, I wouldn't blame people for skipping it if they do. And speaking of things that are more or less the same, so is this intro part. And first thing I do when I do this is I check to make sure that my controls are set to manual. And they are, so we're good to go here. And what I do immediately is book it diagonal and go up. And then I go behind that zombie, then I circle around and go behind that zombie over there, hugging the car while I do so. Then I hug the right, or the right, and then I go over to the right again when the camera changes. It's kind of hard to describe that stuff sometimes because of the angles and stuff, but just hug the walls.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hold your fire! I'm a human!
Sorry about that. I thought you were one of them.
What's going on in this town?
Hold on. I don't have a clue. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
Well, that's a good talk, but we're just going to head right for the door in the back. If we linger too long, zombies will crash through the window, and then Kendo is going to be done. So, if we go out here, we just get to hear it instead. So, that's fun. Anyway, we'll run forward here. We have to run past this gate and run over to this end here until that gate burst open. And then, this part's actually pretty tricky to get past. Essentially, what you just do, and what pretty much everybody does, is you just run right into the zombies and take the bite. You'll run into some herbs later, so it's not so bad. You can do some fancy gun tricks and stuff to get past them, but it's easier just to take a bite or two and push past them and run through. But dodge around that zombie who's in the middle of the basketball cart, or not cart, but court, and then go up this walkway here, and then go down, and watch yourself over here, because there's going to be 4 zombies. Try to get down here on the corner, and then thread the needle there. Hug the wall, because that zombie's going to be over there. Keep hugging the wall. That zombie will be walking forward, and you can run behind him. Now here, run around this truck, and then run forward. Keep hugging the cars, and then run straight to the bus. And you should be pretty good getting through there. At this point, get your gun ready, because you're going to want to hit the zombie on the ground here. Otherwise, she will bite. So watch out there, and get kind of close to this guy, and you can run past him after you stun him. You can knock him down if you want to, if you feel safer doing it. I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you can just stun him and run past. Now watch out, guys, because this is going to get tough. We're going to run forward, we're going to run up, we're going to run down and thread the needle, and then we're going to run up again, we're going to run around, and then we're going to go to the gate. There's a lot of zombies in there, so be very careful. It comes at you fast. Just try it a couple times if you need to. It's okay if you don't get it the first time. For some reason, I ran forward there. I don't know why. Sometimes I just do that, but I ran through this part here, and since we didn't pick up anything, there's not going to be any zombies waiting for us. If we run over to these plants here, there will be an herb that you can use, and it's kind of nice to have, especially if you took a bite on the way here. And that gets Leon back to more or less full health. So, go in the door, obviously, and we've made it to the RPD. Congratulations, guys. That's not easy to do, so you should pat yourself on the back, Believe me. Resident Evil 2 is a tough game. If you can make it there, you should be proud. Anyway, run across this room here. We're gonna kind of go a little bit diagonal here and go to that door over here, where we're gonna meet our main man, Marvin.
Oh, man. Who are you? Oh, you must be the new guy. Leon. Sorry, but it looks like your party has been canceled. What happened? About 2 months ago, there was this incident involving zombies in a mansion. located in the outskirts of this city. Chris and the other STARS members discovered that Umbrella was behind everything. They risked their lives to reveal the truth, but no one believed them. Not long after that, all this started to happen.
Hang in there.
Don't worry about me. Just rescue the survivors in the other rooms. Here, take this key card. You should be able to unlock the doors in the hall with this. Now go. But just go.
Fine, but I'm coming back for you. Just hold on.
You absolutely have to go in there and meet Marvin because you have to get the card. When you come back outside, run around and go to this computer. You can just use the computer. You don't have to go into your inventory. Your inventory or anything. And then it'll give you the option to use the card key, and obviously you want yes, that unlocks the doors on either side of the room. And where we're gonna go, we might want these bullets here, just in case we run into some risky business. And believe you me, there'll be some risky business in RE2. Anyway, run over to this side here with the double doors. Don't go in the other doors yet. We'll get to that later. This is where we want to go first. This is where we have to go, really. And what we should do is make a little pit stop here and deposit the knife, because the knife is kind of just clutter for the inventory at this point, unless for some reason you want to do a knife-only run. And respect to people who do. It's tough to do on the A scenarios because of the alligator. Anyway, we'll go through here, and then we're going to meet a very special character in a second. Don't be afraid when you meet him. Don't be afraid, but here it comes, guys. Alright, don't panic, don't dilly-dally, just run forward and go straight to the door. Just go through. You can do it. You can just run around him. You don't have to be afraid, because you will get past him every time. He'll do that tongue move, and you can just go. And we'll be coming back there in a second. We do have to go in there, but we're not going to grab the jewel quite yet. We're going to go through this door here and be very careful here. You want to run forward. You want to hug the wall, turn, and then run toward the stairs. And if you do it right, you're going to be able to thread that needle pretty easily. That can be a tough dodge to get for people who are just beginning the game, so I understand if you have a hard time with it, but just try it a few times and you'll get it. Anyway, when we get to this statue, move the red statue over to the other side of the room first. This is the jewel puzzle, and typically what people do is they wait to push the other statue until they come back through this door. So I just decided to go ahead and go for it. I just pushed the other statue over. I don't know that it really saves all that much time. I guess maybe it does. I might try it out sometime to see if maybe I can get some time saves in there in case I want to do like a proper speed run of this. But for right now, you can either come back for this, or you can just do it now. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Grab that red jewel. There's another red jewel that we're going to need. We're going to get it when we go back downstairs. Anyway, let's go through this door here. We're going to the STARS office, guys, because there's a couple of things that we need in there. And watch yourself going in this hallway. There are zombies. Hug the wall on the right, and then go straight into the door. Now, we gotta go forward here, and we got to examine this file. I tried to examine the file instead of examine the desk. You can read the file if you want. I'm not going to. We need this medallion, the unicorn medal.
Leon!
It's good to see you're still among the living. It looks like we're not gonna find your brother here after all. There's no reason for us to stay any longer than necessary. Let's split up, look for any survivors, and get out of here.
Right.
One last thing. Here's a radio. Take it. That way we can keep in touch if anything happens.
Gun from the cabinet. Be sure you take that, guys. This is going to be our main weapon with Leon. Technically, we could just run up here without the gun. In fact, that probably would be the best course of action, but, you know, we can't do that. Anyway, let's go ahead and run back, because we have a few things to take care of. We have to use that unicorn medal to get the first key. And the first key is going to get us into a room with the liquor that we just met. Now, this particular dodge, you want to wait a second when you get down the stairs, guys. This can be a little bit scary, so just wait a second, watch him go forward, run behind him. And when he goes forward like that, he's kind of going turbo. You can tell because he's moving a little bit faster. But when he does that, he's not going to be able to turn fast enough to bite you. Hug the wall here. And watch out for the jazz hands, because the jazz hands will do some damage to you. It's not like the worst, and, well, they got me here, unfortunately. Usually I hug the wall well enough that they don't get me. If you need an herb, you can grab the one in here, just walk it forward a little bit, and, yeah, just walk it forward and grab the herb if you absolutely need it. Here, I thought to myself, well, I did take the hit, so, you know, let's keep Leon in good condition. I would recommend just waiting until you're in caution to use it. I probably didn't really need to do that. You can run through this room entirely and just get through it before the liquor will even have a chance to get to you. So, like I say, in that room, you don't really have to be afraid all that much when you're dealing with that liquor. You can, for the most part, run. Now, when you're running down into that hallway, there might be an issue. But anyway, let's use the unicorn medal here and get the key. Boom. On the B scenario, actually, this is a small key. On the A scenario, this is a spade key. And that spade key is what we're going to need to get into the door where that liquor is. And as I was saying, when you're running through there, it's kind of a tough dodge to get, but you can get it by running forward and then doing like a little sharp angle at the end. Well, I'm going to put these bullets away as well as the handgun because, well, it's just clutter in the inventory. We really want to just have one weapon on us and maybe a heal here and there to save inventory slots because key items are, well, key. Yeah. I decided to run here. I decided I was going to go for it. And if we go forward, yeah, he got me that time. I should have hugged the wall there. I actually went through here to de-aggro him. And I need to go back, so I immediately turn around, and we're going to go back into that door that we just accidentally skipped. Fortunately, it's not that hard to get there. We just run to it, and when he drops down, his back is going to be to us, so that's actually really, really convenient the way that works. In here is going to be the crank. On the A scenarios, the crank is located here. On the B scenarios, the crank is different for both Leon and Claire, curiously enough. And we push that step ladder over here, grab the crank, and we are good to go in here. There's not really anything else in here unless you just want an ink ribbon. And the ink ribbon right there is on, it's kind of hidden in that shelf, the yellow shelf. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in Resident Evil 2 that isn't super obvious. Like, there's all kinds of little things that are hidden that if you didn't know they were there, I mean, how would you ever know? I don't know why they do that. It's a little weird. Well, anyway, going back through this hallway, we don't have to worry about the jazz hands anymore. And we're also going to go into these doors here, the briefing room, so that we can get the other red jewel. When you go into this room over here, use the lighter on the painting. That will make Leon light the fireplace, and lighting the fireplace makes the painting burn up, and that reveals the jewel. And that's the other piece of the puzzle that we need. So, now that we have the two jewels, we can get out of here. Let's go back upstairs. Well, our destination now is going to be the end of that stars hallway. Because, well, that door is opened by the spade key. And then we're going to go into the library, and we're going to get the first plug that we get in the entire game. Leon has to gather 4 plugs, as opposed to Claire. Do the dodge here again, hug the wall, go forward, and then do that sharp turn toward the stairs. You have to do that a couple of times on this particular scenario, or, well, on Claire too. It's a little nerve-wracking, I know, but just try it, practice it, you'll get it, guys. Had a little bit of... Sometimes you have a little bit of trouble getting hung up on architecture. I don't know, it just happens sometimes. Anyway, watch out for the zombos in here. You can kind of hug the wall and get past them all. If you feel really nervous, you can go ahead and do a decap on these guys. That one right there. The camera angle's a little touchy, so you may want to think about it. I did it because I felt a little bit better about it. And when you go in here, there's going to be some zombos. Hug the seats over there on the side, and then go around them and go directly into the library. That will save you a lot of grief, a lot of effort. Don't bother trying to do anything with them, just go around them. Then we're immediately going to go upstairs, we're going to go around, and we're going to fall through the floor. This is a scripted event, happens every time. You have to do this. It's funny how they make you do that particular movement. Hit that switch there, that's going to make this shelf move over so you can get out of there. And the 2 left shelves you want to move over to the right once. Once, each of them. Move that one to the right, and move that one to the right. And that's all you have to do. All you have to do on every scenario. It's such a simple puzzle, it's barely a puzzle really. But anyway, there's the first plug that we get. Boom, there it is. Let's go ahead, take that, and get on out of here. You don't necessarily have to do this right now, I guess. You could wait to get that plug until you're ready to go to the clock tower. Out here, watch out for the zombo. Immediately book it up, and keep an eye on this guy. If he's far enough against the wall, you can go around him. The emergency ladder, you'll want to let that down so that you have easy access to the 2nd floor. If you don't do that, well, you know, lots of luck, but why would you want to make life harder on yourself? Over here on the other side, there's going to be a zombo that's going to get in the way. They kind of like to get right in the middle, so it makes it very difficult. There's this little bend over there, that balcony that you can use to kind of juke around them if you want to. But it might be just easier just to get rid of them. It's such a hassle otherwise. Immediately go through the other door once you go into this room, the safe room. And there's going to be a fire over here. So go right, go through this door, and then go forward and around. Now, when you go around the body as you're running around here, hug the left wall, because the hitbox on that body will prevent you from doing anything. Don't be afraid here, just go through the door. Keep running and go through the door. The crows might scare you a little bit, just don't stop running, guys. You'll be okay. Now, once you come out here, go forward, go down the stairs. We're going to have to do some dodges here, so prepare yourself. Go ahead and when you get out here, run around, hug the wall. You'll successfully dodge both zombies, and then once you go through here, you can try hugging the wall or you can thread the needle. Whichever one feels better for you. Try both of those and see what it does for you, but generally one or the other should work pretty good. And once you enter this room, go forward and go around and get the wheel from behind the chair. Don't open the other door on the other side of this room. Don't open that door because zombos will come through there. I'm telling you, don't do it. You're going to regret it. It's a classic jump scare, but don't bother with it. It's not worth it. It's just going to make your life harder. So we can go behind this guy, and then we can go around him. We probably could have just run forward there, but I don't know. Luckily, she was not in front of the stairs. If she gets in front of the stairs and she kind of just is stuck there, go ahead and take her down. But if she's just shambling around, it's whatever. Go, just dodge her. A lot of people think that you have to just take everything down while you're playing Resident Evil, and that's simply not the case. You don't have to do that. It's not worth it. Just run. Otherwise, it's going to take forever. Use the wheel here to put out the fire. There's some ammo on the plane. It's not going to be particularly useful for Leon, unfortunately. So just forget about it. Handgun bullets. I mean, yippee. At least I think they're handgun bullets. I skip the helicopter ammo so much that it's kind of hard to remember sometimes what has it. But when I'm Claire, generally I go for it. Same deal here, just run, hug the wall when you get to the body. That'll allow you to go around it easier. And then go back the way you came. There will be zombies in this hallway, guys, so be aware of that. Don't forget about that. There's one zombie here that's shambling forward. You might be able to dodge him. Maybe not now, because he's kind of not against the wall like he was, but if he was still against the wall, we might be able to pull it off. This guy here can sneak up on you. It's a really inconvenient camera angle, so you may want to go just hug the wall, go forward, and then prepare shoddy. And, you know, get rid of him, because he's kind of getting in the way there. Over here, there's a key on the boxes that we want to grab. We can also place these jewels on these statues so that we can, or, well, the bus, rather, the relief sculptures. Yeah, the relief sculptures. We'll post these jewels here, and then we get another plug. Check it out, guys. Look at that. Right in there. So now we have plug number 2. Well, taking a little bit of effort to get Leon oriented. Now we have plug number 2. Okay, good deal. This key that we're gonna use is also something that we need to get into the evidence room with. So we're gonna once again go the way we came, watch out here, and he's kind of just standing there so we can run around him. If you left him there, yeah, you can just run around him. If you took him out, you don't have to worry about it anymore. We're just gonna go straight, go back, and we're gonna go back downstairs. Now, we could have gone downstairs through the stairwell. That probably would have been faster. There would have been a few risky things to deal with there. There might have been a zombie that would have tried to bite us as we were going through the bullpen. There's also, you know, that particular hallway that has a whole wave of zombies in there, so you may want to just take the second floor like I did. It might be a little bit safer, but I think the other way is faster, so it's something to consider. Anyway, we're just gonna go this way. We could also go through the library to get down to the evidence room, but that also requires going through a few more hoops. This way might actually be the fastest way overall, I think, going down the stairwell and then going through the liquor hallway again. You wind up going through this hallway quite a bit. I decided to be a little bit more careful here after taking a swipe from this guy the one time. Of course, once we get past him, we can just go ahead and run to the door, because there's no way he's going to be able to catch up with us at that point. Again, don't have to be worried about the jazz hands here. That's just a jump scare that happens to you like once. Resident Evil 2 likes to keep you on your toes like that. It's just Capcom being Capcom. This time when we go through this door, we're not going to run forward. We are going to stay put, watch out for her, and then we're going to run to this back room where we're going to use the diamond key. Now, watch out here, guys, because there's going to be lots of zombos, and we could try to get a dodge here. If we're lucky and we hug the wall, we can get past them. It's a really tough dodge to get, because there's just so many zombies in there. It's rough. There's an herb right here if you need it, and if you took a bite, you may want to use it. I would recommend at this point, if you picked up a red herb, just make a full heal and save it for later, especially if you're already in fine. If you're in fine, you don't have to worry about that much. Here's Marvin, guys. Marvin's gonna go turbo. You can take him out, or you can back up, holding down and right. Actually, I think it's down and left, rather. I don't know. Sometimes I forget what I'm talking about when I'm referencing the controller. Anyway, hit down and left, and then turn yourself toward the desk, and you should have enough room to run to the desk, and ideally, you should be able to like run around him and get out of there. It's a tricky dodge to get, so you may want to just use your shotty, but it's a dodge that you can get. And it's one that, I don't know, kind of wish I would have done there, but I didn't. Well, now that you have the heart key, be sure you immediately go into this hallway, go into the bullpen, and then go here and use the heart key. The heart key gets discarded after one use. This is going to take us to the basement, guys. And there's 2 herbs inside the door here if we want to use them. Or if we just want to pick them up. I just picked the one up. There's dogs down here, so prepare yourself for that. You may even want to consider unequipping the shotgun because Leon runs a little faster. What you want to do here is kind of hug the wall on the other side when you're going down that hallway because that dog is there at a very inconvenient place in the camera. You don't really notice it until the camera angle changes.
Sorry about that. When I saw the uniform, I thought you were another zombie.
Who are you?
Ada Wong.
And what are you doing here?
I'm looking for some guy named Ben. He's one of those reporter types, always looking for a scoop. I heard he was locked up in the cell block, only there's a wrecked car barring the entrance. I've been trying to find another way inside. If we work together, we can move this thing. Give me a hand here, will you?
Easiest way to do this is to hold up and right, and then up and left, and then help her push the van, or the police truck. A lot of movements in Resident Evil 2 can be done by holding up and then the direction of where you want to go. It's actually surprising how fine-tuned the game is that you can, hold a direction and...
Ada, wait!
You can hold back or forward and the direction you want to go, and the precision is just so nicely done that it'll take you right where you want to go most of the time. There's always a few tricky things here and there, but generally there's always a way out if you just know what to do.
Let me guess. You must be Ben, right? Get up, now!
What do you want? I'm trying to sleep here.
Is this the guy?
Ben? You told the city officials that you knew something about what's been going on, didn't you? What did you tell them?
And who the heck are you?
I'm trying to find my boyfriend. His name's John. He was working for a branch office of Umbrella, based in Chicago, but he suddenly disappeared 6 months ago. I heard a rumor that he's here in the city.
I don't know anything. And even if I did, why would I want to tell you?
Okay, I say we leave him in there. Does anyone know where they put the key to this cell?
I have it right here, officer. But I'm not about to leave this cell. Those zombies aren't the only things crawling around out there.
What was that?
Like I said, I'm not leaving this cell. Get out of here before you lead it right to me.
Hey, I'm not going anywhere. I'm the only cop left alive in this building.
What?
Look, if you want to live, then you're gonna have to leave with me.
But do you even know how to get out of the city? There's a kennel in the back of the building. Inside the kennel is a manhole. Go through and it'll lead you to the sewer entrance, but it won't be easy.
All right, I'm going.
Go ahead, cancel out of the map, grab the manhole opener, well, the manhole key here that's on the shelf, and then we're gonna follow Ada out of here. Leon, I don't know what it is with him and Ada. Run forward here and go to this door right there. That's where we have to go. This is gonna lead us to the sewers. And when we go forward, go around. Do not mess around with the herbs. Don't pick up anything in here. Just go straight to the manhole. If we just go straight to the manhole, then we don't have to deal with anything else in here. There are dogs in there, but don't mess around with anything. Just stay here. Use the manhole cover, and then go down. Now, these spiders are a real hassle sometimes, guys. Sometimes they play nicely, other times they're a real hassle. This time, this guy just keeps getting a bite on me. You can always get past the one on the wall, but the one down here kind of just does whatever he wants. Sometimes he'll shoot some poison. Sometimes he'll try to take a bite. Sometimes he'll do nothing. You can just run around him. I don't know. He's all over the place. Since we have a couple of plugs here, we can go over to this unit on the wall on the other side and deposit them. And that gets them out of the inventory and frees up some slots. Or a couple of slots. And now we can just get out of here. Because once we leave, we're going to meet up with Ada again. She's going to just appear, and then we finally get to play as her, which is pretty cool, honestly.
Ada? I don't think I've introduced myself yet. My name's Leon. I'm with the RPD. It's a dead end.
You think we can get upstairs through this shaft? Give me a boost. I'll go and check.
Curiously, Ada's outfit is a little bit more practical, I guess, than it was in the remake. I don't know. At least her footwear is more practical. Sort of. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, just go around the dogs. Usually running around them and giving them a wide berth is a good way to get around them. And it's especially helpful if they don't aggro. Ada, when she goes down here, is a little better at climbing up steps than Sherry is. This box here, push it 7 times. That's all it needs. You hit that 7, and then you go and push the other box. You gotta climb over here and push this box here over. You just have to push it once. That's all you have to push it. Yeah, once is all you need. And you go over to this box, and then you push it twice. And that's all you have to do for these boxes. Go back up, and when you get to the control panel, activate it, and those boxes will rise. Ada, it's fun playing as her, it's kind of neat, but you really don't do much. Like, you can shoot, you can take out a handful of things like, you know, the zombies, but you don't really have to. There's not really a lot of reason to, because you just run around them. Or, well, zombies on Leon B, or dogs on Leon A. I keep forgetting sometimes that, you play the different runs a lot, and it kind of throws you off. Okay, go around that one there, try to go around this one here, and look at that. Just going around them and giving them that wide berth and hugging the wall works very well. A lot of hug on the wall in Resident Evil 2. Heck, a lot of hug on the wall in every Resident Evil game, honestly.
Leon, can you hear me?
Ada, did you find anything?
Right here. Hey, I can't reach the ventilation hole. I'm going to have to find another way around. I'll catch up with you later.
What? Ada, wait!
So here we get the club key. That's what she got for us. And now we have the keys that we need to get into the evidence room. Or not the evidence room, the interrogation room. It's probably a good idea here to make a pit stop and grab a blue herb. Because when you're dealing with the spiders downstairs, it can be a little bit problematic because they have a tendency to poison sometimes. And it's nice to have at least one blue herb on hand. If that happens, you're pretty set. But like I say, sometimes it just happens, so it's nice to have. Anyway, we're just going to go back the way we came. We're going to go through the garage, and then we're going to go back upstairs. And we're going to grab a very, very important item on our way back up. Hug the wall to get around the one spider, depending on... It depends on his position. You hug one wall or another, just get around that, and then hug the other wall. That spider's always going to be crawling along that wall, so you want to be sure to be on the one side always. Find your way over to the other side. The one spider, his position changes. That spider on the wall, it doesn't. Go back to the garage here. And there will be dogs roaming around in here. So it's a pretty good idea to head to your right. And then, actually, God, I'm thinking of Leon B again. Oh boy. I'm really on the top of my game today. Disregard that, guys. God, I've been playing a lot of Leon B recently. My apologies. So instead, there'll be liquors here. And, yeah, it could be a little stressful. Walk it out, and once you get past him, a pretty good strat is just walk it out until you can get past him. I should have ran left there. I should have stayed left. If I had stayed left, I think I could have gotten past them. Maybe. You know, sometimes things just go horribly wrong when we're dealing with these monsters, and... yeah, you just do the best you can. On the B run... Actually, no. On the A run, there's shotgun shells there. See, on the A run, there's ammo there, both on Claire and Leon. And Leon gets shotgun shells. And those are pretty useful. We absolutely want to take those. Shotgun and magnum ammo are in short supply in Resident Evil 2. We have to treat them well. We'll be using the shotgun more often, but we're not going to use the magnum all that much. The magnum is for bosses only. I really don't recommend using the magnum for anything else if you can help it. So over here, we're going to pick up the magnum. It's going to be on that little, yeah, that little bedside stand right there. Take that, guys, because that's how we're going to take care of every single boss. Now we have that, we can go back to the bullpen. There's an herb there if we want it. I decided to take it because, it's generally a good idea to have herbs. Now, you probably don't want to be picking too many of them up if you can help it, because it does slow you down a little bit, but if you're just playing casually, it's good to have them. Go ahead and pick them up. Anyway, hug the wall where that guy is, because if you hug the wall and go around him, he's not going to be able to bite your ankles. And when you get out here, there's sort of a dodge that you could do. I think what you can do is hug the wall and thread the needle. I think you might be able to do that. I haven't tried it. I'm looking at it right now. I'm thinking that it might be possible, but if it's making you too nervous, just go ahead and use your shotgun to clear out a couple of those guys and then get around them that way. So, like I say, I don't blame you. There's gonna be a zombo in there. It's too hard to get around him. I would recommend just using your shotty on him. Some of these zombos, this is a very tight corridor, and I always find myself taking a bite or two when I go in here, if I'm not very careful. You can thread the needle a little bit, you can get around them, but, well, maybe not the guy at the beginning of the hallway. He's a big hassle. There's a first aid spray in here if you want it. You can grab that. The liquor will not jump through the window yet. When you take the plug and run around and go back, yeah, there he is. We have to get that plug, though, because, well, we gotta grab all plugs. And now that we've done that, we have to go in this other room here. Watch out for the Zombo, because he's coming right for you. And I recommend just taking him out. This is a really bad angle. I accidentally wasted a shot there. I thought I had him where I wanted him. I was so wrong. Even though you play this game a lot, sometimes things just happen. Sometimes silly stuff just happens and you have egg on your face and, you know, you get past it. Don't let it drive you too crazy if you make mistakes, because it happens to us all, even when you've been playing the game forever. Like this, code is 231. 2, 3, and then 1. Every single time. Every single time, guys. And that'll get the gear. Fortunately, there's no monster that we have to worry about in here. That's a big relief, actually. On the B run, you have to worry about Mr. X crashing through the wall. In this, not so much. And on Claire's on Claire's scenario, there's going to be a liquor in here, and that's awesome. You gotta love that. We can run around her, fortunately, because her back is very convenient, but also this guy here. If you do that and they're still both there, you kind of want to do a sharp turn as you're going. I do believe. Like I say, it's a tight corridor. I recommend just take them all out. Get them out of there. It's not worth all your tears and your herbs. Plus, you can afford a few shoddy shells here. Run around these guys. I'm gonna grab this herb because Leon's not doing so great. Actually, I can't grab it because my inventory is a little rough. So I will use my full heal, which was really not ideal. I should have just shotgunned my way out of there. And now, since I cleared those guys out earlier, I can run to this door. Boy. That was a very unfortunate hallway. I could do a lot better than that, I think. Well, you know, you'll learn something every single time you play this. One of those games that you just keep picking up little things from. Since we have all the other supplies that we need, we're going to go directly to the library, because we have to go to the clock tower. The only way to the clock tower is through there. Just start running when you get here. You can do it. Just start running past the liquor. Don't hesitate. After we go to the basement, and when we come back up to the library, these zombies will crawl through these windows. Both in the hallway leading to the basement, and in the hallway where we met the liquor. So, fortunately, we're not going back there. If you missed anything, it's going to be a rough time. But, if you're following along with me, well, you didn't miss anything. You're good. We are never going back in those hallways as long as you follow along with me. There's only one way to go here, so, you know, it's pretty obvious. Go into the clock tower, and when you go in here, go immediately to the right, and use the crank on the wall. That'll bring the stairs down. And that clears up one inventory spot, because we don't need the crank anymore. And we can go upstairs. It's the exact same as Claire. I mean, it's pretty much the exact same on every scenario. Go upstairs and use the gear on this machinery. Press the button, and you are golden. Now, key difference between Leon and Claire is that this opens up this chute here. Claire doesn't jump down this chute, but Leon does. He also grabs the night plug. But this does chute, you want to jump down that'll take you directly to the kennel. And here we're going to be meeting our first boss very shortly. But first we got to go see Ben, guys.
No! Get away!
Dun dun dun. Ah, I really like this old scene. It's kind of one of those changes in the remake that I didn't really feel all that strongly about. I didn't like it that well. I like the original a lot better.
Ben! Can you still hear me? Come on, answer!
Damn! I don't believe this. I almost got the story.
Ben.
Bitter irony. The chief of police, a co-conspirator. Get that scum. Make him pay.
Hang in there, Ben. Oh, my chest! It's burning! What's wrong?
Good God, what was that?
Where are you going, Ada?
To the chemical plant. I have a feeling that's where I'll find John.
Ada, wait! Hey! Do you read me, Claire? We now have access to the back of the parking lot.
Got it.
I'm getting out of here and heading to the sewer. Can you meet me there?
I'm on my way.
There's an herb in that cell if you want to grab it. There's another blue herb too. If you want that, you can grab that too, but you only need the one, provided that you didn't use it already. If you did use it, you might want to grab that extra one. But it's nice to have some green herbs on hand, just to keep Leon's foot speed up. Because when you go into caution, Leon slows down a little bit, and of course when you get into danger, he gets even slower. It's really not all that great. Watch the spiders again. Let's see if we take a bite here, and yes, we do. God, there's something about this run that just is getting that spider really, really aggressive. So, before we go in here, make sure that you have the Magnum equipped. You're going to need the Magnum here. The Magnum is what we use on bosses in Resident Evil. That thing that came out of Ben, guess what? We're about to fight it, guys. That is the first boss. He's a real looker, isn't he? Don't be afraid of him. He's a pushover, really. Unfortunately, the Magnum is not as strong as Claire's acid rounds. So, the Magnum is going to require a couple more shots. One or two more shots. Go up here and just plug the boss. You might want to keep back a little bit further than I did. I got a little close here. Anyway, after all those shots, that's the first boss. As soon as the music ends, you know you've won. And just kind of try to fight through it as these things are attacking you. They don't really do a lot of damage, but they do a fair amount of it. So just keep plugging away here, keep attacking, and stand your ground until you win.
Ada! What was that all about? Running off like that was reckless and stupid. Those zombies are everywhere, not to mention that thing that got Ben.
I was there, Leon. I know.
Look, Ada, as an officer, it's my job to look out for you. But we're not going to get through this alive if we don't work together, okay?
All right. We'll do this your way for now.
There's something about Leon waving that gun around, that huge hand cannon, that just feels so silly, and I love it. So at this point in the game, Leon is hurting, but you may want to keep in mind here that Leon gets a free heal from Ada. So it might be worth it to you to save your herbs or save your first aid sprays. That's one of the benefits of playing as Leon, is getting that full heal in case you need it. There's a first aid spray in the locker over here. You might want to grab that. Generally a good idea to have a few on hand just in case you run into trouble, but it's up to you here. We need to put away the key. That's not going to be useful anymore. It's a good idea to put away the high-power weapon for now. It's a good idea to put away all the heals that you don't need. You will need a gun for this. I recommend taking the handgun because you don't want to waste precious rounds from your other guns. And be sure you take the handle as well, because we will need it here a couple of times. Well, a few times really. It's not going to be any use after we get out of the sewers, but we do need it here. Way more often than we needed it at the at the police station, ironically.
Ada! Heads up!
Leon, that woman was... I have to talk to her.
She just has to talk to her. Hug the left when you take control of Ada, because Leon's hitbox kind of gets in the way and blocks her from running. This is another segment where we don't really do much, per se. But we do have to follow Annette Birkin, so go to this ladder over here and climb up. And when we get up here, just immediately start running. There will be some bugs that will come out of the vent there, but if you move fast enough, you can avoid them. And then immediately go down the ladder again. And we'll have a cutscene with Annette as soon as we just run forward and book it to the left here.
Don't move. You're the one who was with that cop, if I'm not mistaken. Identify yourself.
Ada Wong.
Ada Wong. I've heard that name before. Now I remember. One of the men from Chicago who came to assist the T-virus research used his girlfriend's name as his password. Ada and John, I believe.
How did you know? Who are you?
Annette Birkin. My husband is the man responsible for the creation of the T-virus. William Birkin.
What?
John's dead. He became one of those zombies. My condolences. And although I regret this, you will be joining him shortly. I won't let anyone take the G-virus away from me.
G-virus?
It's capable of creating the ultimate bioweapon. Its potential is even greater than that of the T-virus.
Then that must mean the creature in the police department is...
Precisely. My husband, William. And it's all Umbrella's fault. None of this would have happened if they hadn't tried to steal his research away from him.
Saddle up, guys. It's story time.
This way.
It's sheer perfection. My precious G-virus. No one will ever take you away from me.
There he is.
So you finally come.
Doctor, we're here to collect the G-virus sample.
Sorry, but I won't just hand over my life's work.
Stop! You might hit the sample. That's it, all right. Okay, let's move out.
William! Oh my! Hold on, darling. I'm taking care of that bullet wound first. Stay here.
Alpha team, have you retrieved the sample yet?
Affirmative. We'll be at the rendezvous point in 1 minute.
Roger.
Are you telling me that he injected the G-virus into his own body?
The G-virus has the ability to revitalize cellular functions.
What was that? Something's wrong. Let's check it out. Over there! Shoot it! Eat this, you freak! I'm stopping it! What is this thing? Hurry! What is this thing? Fire! Fire! You son of a...
So those rats were the carriers of the virus.
As a result of his virus-induced transmutation, William should have lost any prior memories he had as a human by now. Even worse, every G-virus bioweapon, including William, has the ability to implant embryos into other creatures.
And create offspring. No. Too bad.
Well, run around here across the bridge. And then once you cross into this other room, go down the ladder. And at this point, you'll meet our special friend over here, the alligator. Although, you know, we don't really get to see him quite yet. Ada just gets... yeah, a little bit of a scare. I don't know how she escapes from this unscathed.
Ada?
Now we have control of Leon again. Go the same way Ada did. Go through this door. And we're gonna go... well, not the exact same way. We're gonna go down. We're not gonna go over to the other side quite yet. We'll go there once we come back. Cross over to where these spiders are and go through the gate. And don't dilly-dally in here. I mean, there's not a lot that's gonna happen to you in here so far. The spiders aren't really gonna do all that much, but if you linger, yeah, something will happen. And it won't be good. Usually amounts to you getting poisoned. They cross the walls, they shoot the acid. You don't want any of that. Just move and get over to this door over here. When you get to this side, use the wheel and bring the bridge down. This part is really, really simple. First you bring the bridge down, and then you cross, and then you use the wheel on the other side, on the other hole, to bring the bridge back up. Very simple stuff. Easy to forget if you've never done it, but if you do it, yeah, it's a piece of cake. And we never have to mess with that bridge ever again. We are good. Now, there's a couple of herbs over here you might want to grab. It's up to you, but you can grab them. There's also shoddy shells over there that are worth grabbing. One of the nice things about it is that they're not on the ground. They're just lying there on that file cabinet, so might be a good thing to grab. And then we can reload our shoddy. I would recommend taking them. Like I say, shotgun shells are in short supply at Resident Evil 2, and so are Magnum rounds, so anytime we get them, yeah, it's gonna be a yes from me. Typically. Now, for this part, we want to equip the gun, because we don't want to waste precious rounds. Run all the way around here, all the way forward, And we'll be treated to a cutscene as soon as we reach the end. Coming up now.
Ada!
So, fun fact, the alligator has a hitbox on its snout. And that's like the only place. Go over here to this tank and activate it. And then make sure that you turn yourself toward the gator. This can be a little tough to do on manual aiming, but as long as you're just aiming in the general direction, you're fine. And then once it takes a bite, yeah, you're good. There's no other hitbox on the alligator except for its snout. Its entire body is just a kill box, so if you happen to touch his body, yeah, one shot, you're done. Go over here and hit the switch on the wall, and then you can open this door here. You have to hit the switch first. A lot of people don't realize those things about the alligator, but yeah, have it bite the tank, shoot the tank, you're done. It's easy.
Leon.
This bullet wound isn't making things any easier.
Quiet, Leon. I'll patch you up.
Here's our free heal, guys.
That's 2 I owe you.
Don't mention it.
I just found out. John's dead.
What?
Never mind. Let's just get out of here. The sooner the better.
Like I say, you get a free heal from Ada. So it's pretty nice. Claire doesn't get that. What she does get is acid rounds, and acid rounds are the most powerful rounds in the game, other than like one of the weapons that you pick up, the spark shot or the gun parts that you can get for Leon. There's a medal up here. You want to go up that ramp and get that. You have to have that medal. And then here's the last spot that we're going to use the wheel in the entire run. Use that wheel there. That'll stop the fan. You can go up and go through. When we get over to the other side... Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. When we get up into the vent, there's not going to be any bugs to worry about. Still, you don't want to dilly-dally, just go on through. I don't know why the bugs all of a sudden disappear, it's weird. But they're not there anymore, so you can just cross and go down. Yeah, you're good. Now, when you come down here, make sure that you head up and then go into that little space that we avoided at the beginning. Now's our chance to go there. And what we can do is we can combine herbs to save some space. We need to get this metal over here. We have to have that. And then this guy's going to have shotgun shells. These are 2 hidden spots. Very weird that there's a medal on that guy, because unless you knew it was there, how would you ever know, right? It's kind of curious because it's a key item, but like I say, go there and grab that medal. You have to have it. It's a little bit annoying that they would do that, but hey, at least you know now, guys. Those zombies are going to rise up, so don't dilly-dally, just keep moving. And then go all the way over to this unit on the wall and use both medals that you have. These are the medals from Resident Evil 1, curiously enough, that take you into the lab. You might not notice that, but I noticed that the other day. I thought that was pretty cool. Now we're good to go. Ada will start shooting at the spiders, but you can just have Leon go through the door and she'll follow him. Fortunately, Ada's not like Sherry. We don't have to escort her quite as much. She's very self-sufficient. And if you ever decide to do a knife-only run with Leon, Ada is actually nice to have as backup, because she'll do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. It's very convenient in a densely zombified area. Turn the power on for the tram, and then get on the tram. And this is going to be a little bit hairier than the Claire run, because you're going to get attacked while you're on the tram. It's going to be a whole sequence here. It might be worth getting out your shotgun for this part. You don't have to, but overall, a couple of shotgun blasts will do the trick. And there's the hand. I decided to use the gun to save some ammo. It's a little hard to do when you're doing manual aiming, because when you run away, the hand will be directly behind you. But if you can find a window to do it, and turn around while it's coming through, it makes it a little bit easier. You see the debris falling from the ceiling? There. Sequence is complete. It makes the scene go faster if you do that. You don't have to do it, you can just write it out, but it does go a lot faster if you shoot and help Ada out a little bit. Otherwise, she'll just do it herself. Over to the side here, there's a key that we can grab, and that'll get us Magnum parts if we so want them. You don't have to get them. It's not that important, but it's something that you can grab if you feel like you need it. I'm just making you aware of it. If you're going for a good rating, don't bother. Equip the shotgun, and let's go forward, guys, because we have to take out some zombos in here that are blocking the way. This guy over here kind of gets in the way, so we're just gonna... Well, I guess we're gonna take a bite first. And then, well, I guess we're gonna roll around him, so... Nice moves there, SK. You know, like I say, you make mistakes going through this. If that had gone right, I would have shot, you know, done a decap there. This time... we can grab an herb over at the end here. Watch out for a zombie here. There are a couple of herbs here. There's a green herb, and then there's another green herb, and I'm going to use one green herb to help heal myself up. Because, you know, I took a bite like a jabroni. Hey, what can I say? Sometimes you make mistakes, like I say, guys. Okay, this time, watch out. Remember, this is going to be a little bit slower if you're doing manual aiming because you have to manually turn the character toward the enemy. It's not as easy, but it's very doable. Manual aiming is no joke. You realize that pretty quickly when you start doing it. It makes things way harder than they really, I guess, need to be. The default for this game actually is manual aiming. Although you can turn on auto-aim. You can turn on auto-aiming. For this, you want to get out the Magnum, and you want to get out as many Magnum bullets as you have, if you have any. You can put the box key away, because you don't really have anything to use it on yet. There's shotgun ammo over here, and then there's Magnum ammo right here, that you want both of those. We will have 10 bullets altogether for the Magnum. And there will be another clip of Magnum ammo on the tram. So we don't have to worry ourselves. There's a first aid spray in the cabinet. I recommend taking 3 heals with you when you go in here. Because there's a lot that could go wrong in this fight. And if you play your cards right, it won't be that bad, but odds are, if you haven't done it too many times, you're going to make some mistakes. And even if you've done it a few times, sometimes you still make a mistake here and there. Forward, just like on Claire's scenario, if you go forward and go left here, there's going to be some ammo. These are Magnum rounds. And now you have 18 Magnum rounds altogether. There'll be one more Magnum clip when we get to the lab, fortunately, for Leon. Now, a little bit unfortunately for him, on the B run, that would have been the last Magnum clip that I'm aware of right now in the entire run. Anyway, that key that we grabbed, hopefully you grabbed that off the clip over there at the front of the tram. Go ahead and go to this panel right outside and use it, and that'll activate things. On the B run, that key is still going to be located right there. All you have to do on the B run is just go straight forward and, you know, use the panel. And then the train works. Get yourself ready, guys. It's time for another boss fight. Boss fights come at you fast in RA2.
Ada! Ada! Can you hear me? Come on, snap out of it!
Again, make sure you have the Magnum equipped, go out the door, and we're about to give Birkin the business. This shouldn't require that many Magnum rounds, fortunately. Fortunately. When you fight Birkin, and you run around him to dodge, make sure you run counterclockwise. When you're doing manual aiming, it can be a little difficult to manage because you have to turn yourself around. You can't just use the auto aim to turn yourself around. So get as far as you feel comfortable, and then get some shots in on him. This is what I did here. And it's maybe not the best strat, I don't think, because he's getting some good swipes in on me. Generally, though, if you run counterclockwise, you'll be able to get around him. Just run far enough away, and then get a few shots in on him, stand your ground a little bit, and when you feel like you have to move, move. When he starts slowing down, you can get a couple more shots in him. As soon as the music stops, as soon as he kneels down like that, the fight is over. Best advice I can give there is to do your best to stand your ground as soon as you have clear shots. And if you have to move, move counterclockwise.
Die on me, Ada. Come on! Wake up! Come on!
Leon will take Ada off the tram here into the same room that Claire takes Sherry into.
Welcome back. Hey, take it easy. We're inside Umbrella's secret lab. I'll go find something to treat that wound, so just rest here in the meantime.
But I'll only slow you down with these injuries. Go. Save yourself.
I told you, it's my job to look after you.
But you'll be in danger if you stay with me. I know I've only known you for a short period of time, but I really enjoy being with you.
I
know I'm not capable of caring about anyone, but I don't want to lose you.
We're leaving this place together. Wait here for me. I'll be right back.
There's an herb over on this refrigerator that you should consider getting. If you go over here, there's also shotgun shells, and you want to get those. There's also Magnum ammo over here. It's a virtual treasure trove of stuff in this office. All of it is stuff that you want. All of it is stuff that Leon needs. As I say, shotgun ammo and Magnum ammo, both in precious short supply. So we'll put the Magnum away for right now. We're not going to need it until the end of the game. We'll use the shotgun to take care of most of the business that we have to do around here. So all we'll need is shotgun, shotgun ammo, and a heal if we really need it. We're going to run directly into this door over on the left over here. And this door will take us into the main, portion of the lab. Run forward, go around this, and go through the blue side, because we have to go and get the fuse from the cold room. It's a whole weird thing that we have to do, but that's how we have to do it. cold room is over to the left here. Keep going, and then when you see the ice on the door, you know you're there. There's going to be 2 things in here that we need. 1 first aid spray, and then 2 fuse. First aid spray is over there in the barrel. Grab that, and then the fuse is over here on that little cart. Once you have that, go over to this machine on Leon's right, and use the fuse. This machine will do the rest. Yeah, it's a nifty little sequence. I don't know, I always thought this part was kind of cool. I don't know why in God's name they need this whole machine to make a fuse in here. Seems like really impractical technology. Well, the entire laboratory powered by this single fuse that we had to go into this cold room to make. Makes sense. Once you're done, leave with the fuse, go back out to that main room in the center, where everything intersects. And once you're there, use the fuse. There it is, guys. Use the fuse, and then the power comes back on. Now you can go through the red room and prepare yourself, because this is where the risky business is going to happen. There's going to be a bit of it, and it's not going to be the easiest. But we'll get through this. Turn the door. When you have control, turn over to the left, go diagonal, hug the wall there, and you can get around them. It's a little risky, but you can do it. And it works pretty much all the time. You can also go behind this guy and grab some herbs if you really want them. You may want them, because maybe you've been taking some hits. Just try to grab one, though, because that guy tends to attack if you try to go for the herbs. But if you just go for one, you'll have time to get an herb and get out of there. Sometimes you'll have time to grab both, but not very often. Right here, just what we're going to do is run forward, and okay, we took a hit. That's one of the risks you take when you take a hit like that. If they put you into caution, immediately heal yourself. A lot of people think that that jumping strike is a one-shot. It is not a one-shot. It just takes half your health. The people who think that it's a one-shot are people who were in caution and got hit, and then, well, you know, once you're in caution, you're below 50% health. So, if you get hit while you're in caution, you're done. Fortunately, we've been keeping ourselves in fine condition, so that did not take us down, and we're able to keep going. That was still extremely unfortunate what happened. On the bright side, we do have a full heal here, so we'll be able to keep going, and we don't even need that box key. We picked it up, and if you have that key, you can go into this locker over on the right here and get some magnum parts, but we don't need them. There's going to be a zombo right there. We can just dodge around him if we want. We can do a decap on that guy. Run past him. There's going to be another zombie over here on the other side of the desk. We may want to get rid of him because he's kind of in the way. People ask me sometimes, I've said this before, they ask me, how do you know what stuff to take out? And the answer is always, just get rid of whatever's in the way. If it's in the way, take it down. If it's not in the way, leave it alone. Because it's a survival horror game. There's limited ammo, limited resources. You can't do everything, generally, so you have to pick and choose what you do. You have to strategize a little bit. A lot of people will ask, you know, why aren't you taking everything down? Because you don't have the resources to do it. Maybe you do if you're using a handgun or something, but that takes forever. The handgun is the last resort. Here I'm going to take along my Magnum, because I do believe we're going to be going into the boss room in short order. We'll have a little bit longer before we have to do it, but we will be taking care of business here. Unlike Claire, we don't make a vaccine. So things go a little bit faster than they would otherwise. We still want to be careful in this room here, though. Fortunately, we have lots of shotty ammo, so it won't be that bad. There are the liquors in here, and if they're in the way, we may want to go ahead and take one out. We can wait it out. We don't have to take them out. But if we really want to get rid of them, we can. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these guys. Because they're a big hassle. They will get right back up several times. Make sure you go for it. They get back up pretty much immediately, so you kind of have to get into a rhythm with the shotgun. Fortunately, their friend doesn't really hear you that well. So you have time to reload, take care of business, and then go after him again. If you take a swipe or two, it's okay. You can go ahead and heal yourself with one of these. There's 3 herbs here, actually. So, if you do take a hit, it'll be okay. You can just heal yourself and you can move on with life. I do recommend dealing with those guys going through there. I don't recommend running through there. Part of the problem of running through there is that there's been a couple of times I've taken stun locks, and they're not great. I've gotten stun locked so bad that I lost an entire run to that because of them. So, it's generally much safer to just take them out with the shotty. It saves you a lot of grief, and it keeps you from completely losing a run. Going in is easier, I think. Getting out, that's where the trouble is. Anyway, that plant zombo back there, we can just run forward, hug the wall, and go around him. No big deal. And then once we come back through here and go through the blue door, we can go into this door that was previously unlocked. Now we're in. What we need in here is an MO disc. That's our prize. There's also Magnum rounds in here, along with a first aid spray. Magnum rounds galore. This is the final Magnum round pickup of the game. I don't remember if I said that another clip of Magnum rounds was the final Magnum round clip pickup. But on the A run of Leon, this is the final Magnum round pickup. This guy here got a bite because, like, Leon couldn't reload fast enough, and fortunately we have an herb, so it's not that big of a deal. Let's just go ahead and take him out. This is what I decided to do. I decided to fire off some shotgun shells, and then reload and fire off one more to create inventory space. Boom. Okay, there we go. And now we can take the MO disc, and we can take the first aid spray, so that we have 3 full heals. I kind of recommend going into this next fight with 3 full heals. You may want to leave the shotgun entirely when you go through here, provided...
You murdered my husband. I know what you're looking for. You came for the G-Virus, didn't you? But you'll never take it from me. This is my husband's legacy. Now, where's that spy you were working with earlier? You know who I'm talking about.
What?
You really don't know anything, do you? You're so gullible. She's one of the operatives sent here by the agency. The only reason why she came here is to obtain the G-Virus.
That's a lie.
No, it's the truth. I discovered this when I did a background check on her. She specifically got close to John and became his girlfriend to get information about Umbrella.
That can't be. I know her. Ada wouldn't do something like that.
If you don't want to believe it, I don't really care. You're about to die anyway. What happened?
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
What a miserable way to go, Annette.
Leon. I've been waiting for you, Leon.
What are you doing?
You know what this is about, so just hand over the G virus.
I don't believe this. Annette was right. About everything.
That's why I told you to leave without me, but you wouldn't listen. Now hand it over. Don't make me shoot you.
You can't do that.
Oh.
Ada! Ada, I've got you. Don't give up.
Leon, it's over. Just let me go.
Shut up. You're gonna make it.
It's too late, Leon. We both know it.
No! I promised you that we would escape. You just have to help me out here.
I really wanted to escape with you, Leon. Escape from everything. Goodbye.
Ada! This is what everyone's been dying for.
La lingua de cinema es universal. As I was saying, before you go into this section, since we don't really go back to the item box, you may want to just leave the shotgun and bring the magnum, because we'll have enough rounds. To get past that plant zombo, just hug the wall, they'll be turning around, you can run right by it, and then go down the ladder here. When you finally get down here and go through this door, there will be some zombos you have to deal with, so you'll probably still have enough rounds to deal with them. Remember, we have 24 rounds here, and we're not really going to need 24 rounds to deal with all this, but we have the shotgun at this point, so we'll just use shotgun to take care of the zombies that are in the way. Guide yourself toward them and try to get to the head the best you can, or you can just hit them in the bodies and knock them down, and if they do crawl along the ground, be sure that you avoid them. Use the disc on this computer console here, and we are at the final boss fight. Equip the magnum and go forward, because it's time to take care of business. We're about to fight the final form of Birkin, guys. Well, not the final form, if you know what I mean, but
5 minutes until detonation.
Birkin 3. Still a tough fight. Go and activate this panel. We have to activate this to get the boss fight going. And then Birkin will drop down. So I run to the side over here and aim at him. and I try to go counterclockwise around him and pop off some shots. And I keep running counterclockwise around him until I can get sort of a bead on him. If that doesn't work, then I turn around and run away, and then I turn back toward him and get more shots off. Once you hit 4 shots at relatively close range, he'll turn into Dog Birkin. And this is where the fight gets a little harder. Now what you want to do, if you can manage it, be sure you have your gun reloaded. Okay, he's going to help us out here a little bit. If he goes up there, that's going to be great for us, because we can pop off some shots at close range without too much effort. If he grabs you, it does do a lot of damage, so be aware of that, and it might happen. But just run away, wait for him, pop off some more shots. If you're lucky, he'll back off a little bit, won't charge too far forward. And then we just unload on him if he pauses. If he gives you an opening, guys, just take it. That's Birkin. Sometimes he just gives you openings, and if he gives you openings and he just doesn't do anything, take that time to plug him. Take him down. Now because of that, we can go forward, and once we reach the elevator, it's almost over. We're going down. Good fight, guys. It's a tough fight, guys, so if you feel yourself overwhelmed, just keep trying. You might want to use saves. Run down this hallway, and once we reach the end, the game is over. Don't feel bad if you have a hard time with this. Use saves if you have to.
Leon!
And just keep trying, guys, because eventually you'll get it.
Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine.
It's over.
No. I have to find my brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning. Goodbye, Ada.
Well, soulmates, that is Leon's A scenario. I want to thank you guys for joining me for this run, and I hope this helps you out when you play Resident Evil 2 on your own. I know it can be a hard game, but if you follow these strats, I think that you'll find a degree of success, and it'll help you get through the game a little easier. Check me out on Twitch, guys. Check me out on Instagram. You can also check me out on TikTok. I go by Soulkeeper on everything. I also go by Soulkeeper on Kick, K-I-C-K. Feel free to check me out on all those, guys. And be sure you watch my other videos. I also have a knife-only run of Resident Evil 3, as well as Claire A from Resident Evil 2. And I'm working on some other stuff in the meantime. If you enjoy this video, guys, don't forget to click like and subscribe, because it really helps me out. And check me out during my live streams here on YouTube as well, because I stream here a couple of times a week, and we do some newer stuff. I'll see you again next time, guys. Bye, everybody.